Thanks for joining me on PDQPD. Today I'd like to show you one of my go-to methods for organizing my Gmail account. In an earlier video, I showed you how to archive and search stored emails from your Gmail account. Since your Gmail account has unlimited storage, archiving emails eliminates the need to delete emails just to save space. While using the search bar is an easy way to search all of your archived emails, we still have the need to categorize our emails. With some email programs, this is done with folders. Gmail uses labels, and labels have a similar function but give you a little bit more flexibility. You can have your email in your inbox, but also have it labeled. You can put multiple labels on an email and it'll be categorized in both. Let me show you what I'm talking about. First, let me show you how to create a label. And you see I'm looking at my inbox, but I have a number of emails here. And I want to start getting organized. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to my left toolbar and scroll down to where it says Create New Label. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to determine what I want to name this. So let's say I want to label my emails that come from vendors. So I'm going to call this Vendors. And I'm simply going to click Create. You can see over here on the left there's a label that now says Vendors, and it's pretty generic. So let me show you one way to use this. You can see my emails here. I'm going to go to my vendors label. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to drag it to the email that I want to label. And you can see that the label appears on the email. Now this is a pretty generic colored label, and that probably won't stick out to me. So what I'm going to do is go back over here to my label and click on the down arrow. And under label color, I'm going to select this green color. And now you see that that label has changed to green. And that's how I can label this particular email. Now you see I put a couple of other labels in here just for an example. And I've got one here that I call Chrome OS, and I have one here that I call Gmail. For example, let's say I already have it labeled as a vendor, but I want to also label it as something to do with Chrome OS. So I'm going to simply click and drag this label over here. And you can see now this email is labeled with both labels. Now it's in my inbox and it's labeled, so that's great, except I don't want 2,000 emails that are labeled in my inbox. I'm going to go here to my little click box and I'm going to check on that. And then up here, I'm going to click on the archive button. Now you see that email disappears from my inbox and it's in my archive. But I want to find that email that has to do with my vendors again. All I need to do is go over here and click on my vendors, and you can see, by the way, in parentheses it tells you how many emails I have that are labeled with the vendor label. It will bring up the one email that was labeled as vendor. Now you see it's not labeled right now. It doesn't have the vendor label because now you're looking at everything that's labeled as a vendor, so you won't need to see that label. They're all vendors. You can see this one is labeled with a duplicate label that says Chrome OS. And when I want to go back to my inbox, I simply click back on my inbox. That's one way you can create a label. The second way, and I like this one a lot better. Let's say I receive this email, and I'm looking at this email, and I want to call this something. In fact, I want every email like this that comes from this sender to be labeled something. This is an email about Chromecast. Now I'm going to go in here once I'm in the email, click on the pull down. Couple steps here, but not very difficult. I want to click the filter messages like this. It brings up my filtering window. Don't worry about this first window. Click on create filter with this search. And now over here on the second one, you can say apply a label. So any email that comes from this sender, I can choose to apply a label. And when I choose the label, I can choose a label that I've already created, or I can create a new label. Now in this case, I'll call it Chromecast. And now down here at the bottom, you see that I also have 6 other emails from this Chromecast account. If I want to apply that label to all these old ones, I can click here and it will apply this label to everything that has come from this email address. And now any subsequent ones that come into my inbox will be automatically labeled with that label. And when I click Create Filter, now when I go back to my inbox, you see that there are 4, and I must have already archived these. but when I click on the Chromecast, you can see this one is already, this one was the one that was in my inbox. It's labeled as Chromecast. When I click on the Chromecast, it will show all of the emails that I have that came from that Chromecast account. Again, the advantage here is I can apply multiple labels to a particular email and then search it by either label. This is an awesome way to keep your archived Gmails organized in a way that you can look at them by groupings. I hope this helps streamline your Gmail and allows you to be a lot more productive as you work through your Gmails. Thanks and have a great day.